Hi, I'm Debbie Peterson, founder of the Wellness Gala. We promote the healing benefits of integrative medicine and holistic choices available to everyone. I've experienced their life-changing results firsthand, and I can't wait to share these options with you on our show, Balance Your Life. Each week, along with my co-hosts, Barb and Dina, we'll be bringing you experts in fitness, food, health, beauty, and wellness, with options, tips, and techniques for a balanced mind, body, and spirit. On today's episode, we talk with Dr. Jersey Wulster at our panel event, and then we chat with Francine Tesler about her intuitive abilities. But first, we chat with Ray Sette, spiritualist, who gives us some insight into what is happening in the world. So hi, everyone. We're here today with Ray Sette. Hi, Ray. Thanks for being with us.
Hello.
And Ray is a spiritualist, and he's going to explain to us what exactly that means. It's a broad...
It is a broad topic. It is a broad topic. Basically, I work with spirits, and I inspire my clients, whoever I'm connecting with, groups, organizations, whatever, to recognize their own connections with spirit and their own human potential. Because I believe we all have a very unique individual potential that we have come into this embodiment to demonstrate. And through tools such as astrology, I assist in inspiring a client to recognize their own greatest potential with whatever that might be.
That sounds fabulous. I love that. And I just have to sidebar here for a second and say, I have known Ray for
a million years.
55 years since we were very young. He's a cousin of one of my dear friends. So it's interesting that we both grew up and ended up in this kind of arena. So tell us a little bit about your work, a little bit deeper, and what you do. I know you do astrology.
Astrology is part of, for example, like a one-on-one private consultation. You know, basically, I go with how I'm guided as to what tool, for example, to use when I'm working with a client. Sometimes a client will specifically ask for just an astrological consultation, but if they don't necessarily specify what aspect of the work that I do they want me to tap into, I just kind of go with how spirit is guiding me.
Okay.
And it always seems to work out perfectly.
And when you are working with people to help connect to their spirit guidance, do you see which way you should go with them, or is it where they express interest?
First, I like to convey whatever it is that I'm seeing, sensing, and feeling, talk about how I'm being guided, and then I offer them the opportunity to ask me any questions that they would like. Generally, it's all answered before they even answer the questions.
Love it. Yes. You've been doing this a while, so.
For a little while.
All right. Would you like to talk to us a little bit about what might be happening with the planet, or
that's a broad question.
That is broad. Okay, so I'll let you answer that however you want.
Sure.
Yeah. Why don't we start with 2024? Because the energy this year, as we know, is tremendous.
Yeah. And you know, in March and April, we had a series of eclipses. Eclipses are turning points. For example, on March 25th, we had a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon, but it's energized, concentrated full moon. And on April 8th, we had a total solar eclipse, which is an energized, concentrated new moon. The eclipses, they begin and culminate cycles of experience that have taken place over a longer period of time. Like, for example, on a month-to-month basis, we look at it just a general 28-day, 30-day lunar cycle, which begins with a new moon. With a solar eclipse, that's an intensified new moon, quite often it begins a longer period of time and duration. And really what's going on right now is one of the many things is that we're all being inspired to really recognize how we're connected with spirit. You know, every one of us has a very unique connection with the spirit realm. We're not always taught to recognize that.
Yes.
You know, and it doesn't suggest that everyone is to go out and to conduct psychic readings or whatever that might be. It's so that you can recognize how spirit is guiding you. But also too, you know, when our loved ones have transitioned into the spirit realm, so that we know that those connections are still very much with us, and we're so being inspired to recognize that. Because also one of the biggest shifts that I've noticing is taking place is everyone is being offered their opportunity to really recognize why they're here and what they can offer humanity to really assist in the changes and the shifts that are coming. You know, we hear about the age of Aquarius, you know, and most think that the age of Aquarius took place in the 60s. Really what took place is, if you think about just to take a line from that song, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So it really was the beginning because of specifically what astrological alignments took place at that time. And those of us like ourselves who were born during that time really began the shifts towards higher levels of consciousness that really are unfolding right now. And we're all being inspired to recognize how we're connected to one another, that we're not separate from one another, not only each other, but also too from the planet and all the elements, the planets, whatever that is in the heavens, and to really honor that there's a reason why we're here, and to really help each other and really create and to usher in this higher level of consciousness.
What can we expect from the age of Aquarius? And by the way,
Sure.
not only is the energy changing, but
Sure.
you're seeing it in people. Everybody is
Yeah.
gravitating towards finding out what else is out there.
Yeah.
That's
and
so
it's
true.
amazing.
It's like, all of a sudden.
You know what? It's been happening for a while.
No,
though.
it has,
It has been
but-
happening for a while. It's because we're yearning for something greater.
Yes.
We're being inspired to recognize there is much more to this experience than we're conventionally taught to recognize, and we're all part of these shifts. Now, the actual age of Aquarius, no one really knows for sure when it's going to actually be ushered in. By
Okay.
my calculations, it could be around the time 2165. Now, I don't. Now, wait.
Oh, we won't be here.
No.
Speak for yourself.
When I say that,
Okay.
it's not to discourage us,
Yes.
to recognize that we can't enjoy the blessings of that time.
Right.
Part of what I'm seeing is what has to do with a specific astrological alignment between Uranus and Neptune at that time, which is in the sign of Aquarius. And when two elements come together, like for example, on a new moon, when the sun and the moon come together in alignment, they begin a new cycle of experience. So when the outer heavenly bodies unite that way, it begins a longer duration of cycle of experience, you see? And at that time, those elements are coming together in the sign of Aquarius.
Oh, very true.
You see, and they all have a dynamic connection specifically with that element. But right now, it's almost like we're being catapulted forward towards that time. But it doesn't mean we can't enjoy a time of oneness and brotherhood and unity
Right.
now.
And we should.
You see?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's very much about being mindful of being in the moment and being very, very present. You
Okay.
see?
I love that there's so much more teaching that is prevalent that people are aware of and people are looking for. So we're getting that platform now
Sure.
to share this, and it's
Absolutely.
starting to perpetuate. It's starting
It
to
is.
spiral because people are looking for it and more are coming forward. And
Yes.
Yeah.
It does seem sped up. I mean, that's just my
Yes.
perception.
Well, no, and I'll explain that if
Okay.
you don't
Yes,
mind.
please.
no,
I actually, for myself, I noticed an acceleration to the understanding and the perception of time that took place in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Now, that occurred when, at that time, there were the planets Uranus and Neptune. We're going back to those planets again, which represent higher levels of consciousness and spirituality and that alternative understanding of oneness. So simply stated, that really began a time where when we began to recognize how like the mediumship shows, the paranormal shows really started becoming much more prevalent on television. It was really Spirit's way of showing us, you know what, this is very much part of your lives. Be mindful of it.
Yes.
But also too, that coming together of those elements, what occurs is that we've become much more aware of the higher dimensions where time doesn't exist. So we're transitioning to that higher level of consciousness that is beyond the physical, where that time element doesn't necessarily exist.
Okay.
Where
That makes sense.
where everything actually just coincides in a place of oneness.
12 Dimensions to the Human Potential. If you haven't read it, you should. It's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Thank
Yes.
you. If you don't mind, let me just talk about what actually led me up to that writing.
Okay, great.
Back in the day, I was very much involved in corporate America. I
Weren't we
did,
all?
and I did this work as this was my night job.
Right.
But I had
Yeah.
my day job
Yes.
that I was very much I actually loved what I was doing. I was traveling around the world. I was seeing amazing places, and I did this work on the side, if you will,
Yeah.
where I worked with clients in my own time. And then there came a time where I wasn't really loving what I was doing in terms of the corporate job as much anymore. And I knew that something within myself was shifting. And this is a perfect example how Spirit inspires every one of us to recognize something greater. I knew something inside me was shifting and changing, and I knew that something was coming for me, and I would be presented with an opportunity. What it was, I wasn't sure.
Right.
And then occurred September 11th.
Oh, yes.
And I remember at the time there was a woman who was one of my mentors, and she was like my astrologer. She was someone that I worked with and I very much learned from and I admired and I respected. And I remember that we were on the phone on September 12th and we were just talking about everything that had occurred.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I said to myself, I need to do something more. It took about 3 years before I made that break.
Yes.
And the woman who was my astrologer always inspired me. She saw within me that I had the potential to write and to create a book.
Yes.
I didn't see it within myself.
Right.
You know, and this is why we do what we do, so
That's
we
right.
can see something within someone else.
I just wanted to kind of wrap it up by saying, thanking you for being here.
Well, thank
been
you.
Fabulous.
Deb, I think I would love to ask Ray to come back again.
Yeah.
Sure,
So many
absolutely.
things
Absolutely.
that-
We could talk for
we could talk
hours.
for hours,
Okay.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. No, we would like to do that. But I just want to say, we want to talk about that. Ray is going to be one of our panelists for our event on Wednesday, June 5th. And we're so excited.
And I am
that
too.
he-
I am
yeah,
as well. I'm
it's gonna
glad
be
I'm
great.
available too.
Yes,
It all works
it's
out perfectly.
fantastic. Definitely come and see us there. It's at the Best Western Fairfield Executive Inn in Fairfield, New Jersey. And the panel will be from 7 to 9. So check out our website, wellnessgala.com. Thanks again, Ray.
Right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
It was
Thank
great
you.
visiting with you.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back after this. Barb, I see you have a lovely cocktail today.
I do.
All
Today
right.
I'm going to show you how to make a paloma. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It is.
I have not.
No, it is the drink du jour right now. It's what
Okay.
everybody's drinking. And once again, it's made from tequila, which I've mentioned before. If you're going to have any kind of booze, tequila is the best to have.
Okay.
You don't
Healthiest.
absorb it's the healthiest, right? Not necessarily the best. It's made from the agave plant. You do not absorb the sugar from it. It's also 0 carbs.
Okay.
So if you're going to have alcohol, tequila should be it. So this is, again, super simple cocktail. It has grapefruit juice, lime juice, some agave syrup,
Okay. And of course, tequila.
and of course tequila. Yes. So I'm going to show you
awesome.
how to do this. So if you want to salt your rim by putting a little grapefruit juice on there, putting your glass into some coarse
Kosher salt.
kosher salt,
right.
yeah. And then you want to gently drop your ice cubes in there so that you don't knock the salt off the rim.
Right.
You want to save as much salt as you can because that's the best part. You're going to put 2 ounces of tequila.
Okay.
That's about 2 ounces. 2 ounces of grapefruit juice. Fresh is best if you can do it.
Okay, so squeeze these babies.
Yeah, squeeze those babies and put all that in there. Then you top it off with seltzer. I actually have grapefruit seltzer.
Oh.
Just why not?
Okay.
Because it's grapefruit.
Get a little fizz.
Get a little fizz in there.
Nice.
And then you're going to want to put about a tablespoon of fresh lime juice. And if you want, you can put a teaspoon of agave syrup. Again, it's made from the same plant as the tequila.
Okay.
Just in case grapefruit juice is a little on the sour, acidic edge for you. Stir that up. And then give yourself a little grapefruit garnish.
Okay, and we're done. We're super excited to tell you that we'll be launching a new podcast that will take our show and all of you to the next level.
We believe that now is the perfect time to take you on a deeper dive into all perspectives and options that we have featured throughout the years to help you navigate through these changing times.
Stay tuned for all the details.
The Soul Institute is paving the transformational path of the modern alchemist. You may be curious if you're a modern alchemist. Are you drawn to aromatics, crystals, the elements, and the natural world? Do you yearn to unlock the hidden wisdom within you? Over the last 2 years, our programs and retreats have brought many like-minded souls together in a sacred community of shared intention to transform the places of limitation into wisdom, strength, and compassion. Through the 5 pillars of modern alchemy, essential oils, crystal healing, meditation, and practical alchemy, as well as the love frequency, we have collectively risen to new levels of empowerment, passion, and purpose.
Hi, everyone. We're here today with Dr. Jersey Wulster, and we are at the Wellness Gala, where we're having our second panel of intuitives and healers. And Dr. Jersey's on our panel today. So thanks for being with me.
Glad to be with you.
Yeah. And tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I am a chiropractic physician and have been for almost 30, 40 years. I'm an intuitive by birth, and as many of us are. And I spent a lot of years training and honing that skill. I'm a classically trained homeopath. I am an adjunct professor at the college for anatomy. I believe in education. I believe that we're all born and gifted we're born with our gifts, and it's our job to hone them and get better at them.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's
Yes, you really do a lot of things.
I
But
do.
today you're going to be using your intuitive abilities, and you're also an intuitive life coach. So tell us a little bit about what that is.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, some patients kept coming to me and asking me for a viewpoint more so than a chiropractic treatment. So what I started to do, I said, I must need to learn that.
Right.
So I spent a couple of years with Debbie Ford in JFK University for coach training, and then another year at Institute of Professional Empowerment Coaching. And I just found it, to me, the human beings were gifted with 4 components: mind, body, soul, and emotion. And we are as strong as our weakest component. So coaching is about developing skills and about assisting a person to finding their inner strength. Who are they? What do they want? What's your gift? What do you need to strengthen? What do you already have as a gift?
Yes.
And where do people want to go? And I help them get there.
I love it. And I have to say, full disclosure, I've actually seen you probably, 10, 12 years ago, and you helped me with some major things. So I appreciate that.
Honored to do so.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And then I also don't want to forget that you are the author of Betrayed, which is your story about
My story. I do believe in my heart of hearts that the single biggest crime against humanity is betrayal, which is betrayal after trust. And it doesn't. In my case, it was my marriage. In other people, it's a mother, a child abandoned, or someone lies or cheats or steals. And what I really came to learn through that painful process was the largest betrayal in the world is to ourselves. We don't trust our gut. We don't listen to the whispers. We know something's wrong, and it's somewhere in the last decades, I think humanity is starting to eliminate their own natural instinct. So betrayal is about, the book is a systematic way to overcome it and get free from it.
I love it. I mean, it's a fantastic book, and it's a great read. Everybody should get it. And I think you're working on a second book too. And you want to tell us what that's called, or do we not know yet?
I don't have the name. I'll name it afterwards, but I'm so eclectic. I have so many things I'm passionate about, but where I see the great strain of the world right now is parenting. I think
we've talked about this.
Yeah, I think people are stuck. They're in a world of unlimited internet where people have forfeited their ability to think. I think the one great gift we have from the divine, that which no one can steal from us, is our ability to have independent thought and self-determinism. And I think it's going by the wayside, by the hypnotism of the TV and the internet. How do we find our quiet mind? So for parenting, I just see so many of them struggling. So I don't think I'm a single mom with 4 children who have landed well. I'm grateful.
Yes, they're all adults now.
They are
on their own.
And so I that's the next book.
That's fantastic.
What I've learned. I'm blessed to be very trained, but I'm also blessed to have a great mother who had a great mother. So
that's important. It does. It really does.
So that's the next book. And I'm working on 2 at the same time, but that's the one I'm deeply passionate about, because that's the one that I hear over and over again. So
that's fantastic. And how where can people get this? Do you want to tell? Okay, Amazon as usual with everything, which is great.
Great deliverer.
Yeah, that's right. But hey, it's fantastic that you're doing this and that you're working on it. And when's the new one coming out? Any idea?
I don't know. I have a slight delay. I'm making some changes as I'm weaning out of and away from the physical chiropractic practice. I've always done them dually, coaching, chiropractic, homeopathy. And now I'm much more focused on doing the coaching part, which is assisting and allowing people to discover their best selves.
That's great. And it's so needed now.
Oh my gosh.
So it's time to move into that for sure.
I had a coach for myself on and off for years. It's wonderful.
Good.
So,
So
that's coming.
Oh, great. And today you're going to be one of the panelists, and you're going to use your intuitive coaching mostly for that. And I know you're also a medium. Do we want to?
I am. I don't. For me, the coaching model is about. I think we all at some level are intuitive. Depends on what we have, naturally what we develop. I think the coaching part is I use it to get people through whatever they're getting through very fast.
Right.
The results.
That's great.
The results are pretty fast, so I use it. But I'm really at a core level. I've spent my life developing skills, teaching my children skills, and so for working with people, what skills do they need or want to develop, and how do we get there?
Right. So it's practical. It's really and that's so important.
I think one of my gifts is I bridge physical to non-physical. I mean, I work very well in the physical universe.
Yes.
I'm very comfortable in the non-physical, the unseen. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
great combo.
It's
All right, well, we're
fantastic.
excited to have
you so
you.
much.
Thanks for being here today. Thanks for
Okay.
being one of the panelists.
You're welcome. I'm
All
glad to be
right.
here.
And everybody should go out and get Dr. Jersey's book, Betrayed. And we'll be right back after this.
Do you suffer from headaches, stiff, sore joints, digestive disorders, recurring infections, emotional stress, or sleepless nights? Try Enzyme Nutrition. It's scientific, personalized, and has no side effects. Visit Susan Richter, RN, at nextlevelhealing.com. Read her reviews or reach out directly at 973-586-0626 to learn more.
Welcome to A3 Digital Media, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. We target, strategize, captivate, and convert for you. We make it our passion to elevate your brand. Our services are personalized for you, and the only time we succeed is after you do. You can trust us to provide quality work that will get to you in no time. Be ahead, stand out from your competition, grow your business to the peak.
We're back with Francine Tesler, and Francine is a psychic medium, a medical intuitive, and so much more. Thanks
Welcome,
for being-
Francine.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And tell us, well, you can start wherever you'd like. You can start with the much more, or you can start with...
Basically, I explain to everyone that everyone has a psychic ability. We're just not all meant to be a practitioner. So
Right.
yes, I do readings for a living, but I do a lot of corporate events, health and wellness. I get a lot of business things. It's very much like when a child daydreams in a dream in a slideshow, PMSing, talking to a 6-year-old with Willy Wonka. And if we took every puzzle ever made and put it into a giant snow globe and attached the snow globe to my head, every time I shake my head, I see a different image.
Okay.
Because I'm ADD and dyslexic. So it's like a stream of consciousness of images. I hear things, feel things. People that have passed over will communicate, and then the
Okay.
medical stuff. So it gets a little jumbled, and then I free write as I'm doing it, and then I'll tell people, look, I'm getting this and this. Does this mean something? The good thing about myself is I'm originally an artist by trade, and I'm very visually and verbally descriptive. So you'll never forget a reading because I get a lot of cartoon images.
That's great.
Well, it makes it makes the reading edible.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to hear you have a black cloud.
Right.
No one does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you hear, you
Yes,
see, so you're
see, I
Here,
clairsentient.
see, she's writing. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Many
see, I
different-
hear, I feel. My hair stands up on my arms like it is now.
Oh.
I feel pain in parts of my body to describe something to someone because I do a lot of phone readings. I speak to people all over the country and all over the world. And I do Zoom also. And just like with you, like I heard something, I went on your list or something or an email, and look how we connected.
That's right. Very serendipitously.
How did you start with this? When did you start?
I've been doing this since I'm a kid, thinking everyone was like me.
Right.
But I started in my 20s. I've been doing this now 40 years, full time. And every time I thought I would have to do something else, something else happened to say, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
That's fantastic.
You're on your
Did
path.
you have support when you were a kid? I know you said you thought everybody was like this. Did you have someone to talk to about it, or?
Not really, but I hung out with all the adults. Well, I didn't have adult friends like peers that were my age as friends. They were either much older or much younger. And I didn't have adult friendships really until I turned 40. Which is
Was your
interesting.
family supportive? Did your family experience
Originally,
the same
no.
abilities at all?
My mom and my dad were both very intuitive. My mom was very psychic, and my grandfather was. My father was very, very analytical because he was on the job, so he was very anal or thought restrictive. My mom was much more supportive. It's just that they initially gave me a hard time because they thought, you know, I would be living in the street or something. And I've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
Medical stuff, I get a lot of really funny, silly things to make it edible. So my favorite reference is pickles. Anytime I see a pickle dancing over a woman's head, it normally means pregnancy, right? Pickles
it.
and ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, the true story is pickles don't always mean that. I dreamt my dad was pregnant 30 years ago. True story. And I dreamt it for 3 months, and they were dancing pickles, and he was getting a C-section. And I would call him every day for 3 months and say, is there anything wrong with your stomach? And he's like, no. Basically, a couple of weeks later, he had a triple hernia laparoscopic surgery.
Oh, interesting.
So the symbolism of it, you know.
Right. Well, because let's talk about that for a second. They're not speaking English to you,
no,
right?
it sounds like shh, or a song, or the cartoons.
Right, symbols, right?
And
That's
I
what
see
we've been
numbers.
told. Right.
I see numbers. Oh, my hair's standing up again. So like I'll see a number over someone's head, and then from there it's like an algorithm. And then from that algorithm, I see other images. I'm able to put things together.
And then you're interpreting it, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
I teach people to pay attention.
Okay.
So dreams, deja vus. If you hear something, you know, don't go this way.
And don't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go.
If you get delayed, or you have a tire blowout, or certain things like that, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to get where you're going, but maybe it means you should get there tomorrow, or you're delayed.
Yes.
You know, so a couple of months, in the past 2 months, I blew out the same tire twice. I was supposed to go somewhere each time, and one time I never made it.
Okay.
And then the other time I got there late, but there was a couple of big accidents.
Right.
You know, and
You're
I always,
protected.
well, that's the thing. I always tell people to go back and look at 9/11 when people were interviewed, that people that didn't make it there, their kid was sick, they missed their...
I was one of the people that didn't go that day.
Okay, see? So did something happen? Did you miss your...
I had a call from my dentist who said, you have to come in this morning, and you've canceled your last 2 appointments, so you need to come in.
See?
I completely forgot, and I went in.
Wow.
Did you see?
I never even knew that.
Yeah, I was taking my son in the
Wow.
day the towers came
My
down.
hair
Oh
is standing
my
straight
gosh.
up.
Wow.
And we didn't have Ubers then.
No.
So I always tell people, don't force it, because God is the God or universe, whoever you pray to. If we don't listen, God makes us listen. You know, but it's not like hokey pokey. I don't know everything. I would win lottery. You know, I'm just here to put it together like how an eagle can look down and say, okay, there's all these different ways you can get where you're going. But how you get there or how long it takes you is up to you. You could take 287, it leads to all the highways. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Do you want to give us a little sample, or do you? I
Well-
don't want to put you on the spot, but
well,
would you
it's
want
funny.
to-
I was picking up the 9/11, but there's 2 people in here, like I was picking up, that they have some lower body issues and they have to watch for sugar, which came up very strongly.
in our studio.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Just to be clear.
And
okay.
What is your date of birth?
was it?
12/99. So the young lady that's here right now is she's juggling like a bunch of things, and it's going to turn into something more than what she thinks.
Oh.
And she should look to become an NP. She likes to help people, but she's not a butt wiper. So if she becomes an NP, she can do the injectables, she could do the permanent makeup, she could do all that and still help people without being sucked dry. And she can have her own empire, which I think would be really
Nurse
great.
practitioner, you're saying?
Yes.
Are
yes.
you a nurse?
Yeah.
I'm in school.
Okay.
Oh
so
my gosh, I didn't know
see,
that.
I
Okay,
didn't-
so
Yeah.
well, just because
I didn't
people
even
can't
know that.
hear, we have a new makeup artist today
Who's
that we've never
fabulous.
worked. Yes, and she's in school, nursing school, and we had no idea.
Oh, you're killing me.
So
So I,
funny.
I didn't even
Yeah.
ask. So
Are you on,
she's,
where are you going?
I'm in CCM.
Oh, okay, great. All right, my son's a nurse. So.
oh, that's
Yeah.
that's really
great.
great.
Yeah.
My
That's
hair's
great.
standing up on my arms.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So that was a great reading for our
Yeah.
makeup
you get
artist.
all
I
that?
can't really comment, but she's happy and shaking her head
Yes.
Yeah.
in affirmation. Well, thank you, Francine.
Thank you
That
so
was
much.
great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, and I look
Okay.
forward to working with you guys
Yes.
continually.
You too.
And by the way, you both are very intuitive yourself. You know.
Okay,
that.
yes.
And you don't utilize it as much. So I'll be
That would just
helping,
be me.
kicking you both.
Oh,
Okay.
That's it, the kick in the butt that we need.
All right.
There it is.
We're
Thanks,
always eating
Francine.
something. All right. Thanks again. And we'll be right back after this. We want to invite you to the ultimate live intuitive event. With renowned experts, we're about to embark on a mind-blowing experience.
Get ready for an extraordinary journey into the realm of the unknown. Whether it's matters of the heart, career choices, or spiritual growth, we've got you covered.
During the panel discussions, we are ready to take your burning questions and provide you with profound insights.
We have vendors, healing sessions.
To find out more about everything we have, go to wellnessgala.com. We look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching today, and be sure to check out balanceyourlife.tv and subscribe to our YouTube channel.